Hi everybody. If you're new to Telecollaboration, one of the hardest things can often be finding a reliable partner teacher. Somebody in another country which has a class quite similar to yours and that's going to work with you on your telecollaborative project. So that's what we're going to be looking at here today. First of all, I should introduce myself. My name is Robert O'Dowd. I come from the University of Leon and I've been carrying out online intercultural exchanges for more than 10 years now. I'm also a member of the Intent project team. So what are we doing today? Two different things. First of all, we're going to look at where telecollaborative practitioners usually find their partners. And secondly, we're trying to identify the basic components of a call for partners. What is a call for partners? This is the message that you send out over the internet, maybe through mailing lists or maybe through the Telecollaboration platform, where you say what type of partner class you're looking at. So, first of all, where would you start looking if you wanted to find a telecollaborative partner teacher? Well, of course, there are many different options. You might do one of the following. You might contact a colleague you know in a foreign university. You might send an announcement to your university's network of international partner universities, maybe through your international relations office. Maybe you'd send a message to an academic mailing list, such as Eurocall or Calico in the United States. So, where do you think practitioners usually find their partners? Well, at the Intent project we carried out a major review of how telecollaboration works in universities in Europe. And we came up with some interesting findings about where telecollaborative practitioners usually find their partners. Let's have a look. The most interesting thing probably was that 72% of respondents to our study said that they found their partners through their own network of colleagues and collaborators. That means that they came into contact and worked with people that they already knew through some other context, some other maybe project or some other form of work. And 28% also said that they got their partners through colleagues that they had met at conferences. This is quite interesting because if you see here, only 7% said that they had found partners through mailing lists, and only 5% said they had found partners through websites such as ePals. Perhaps at university level this isn't very surprising, because before now there has been no platform where university telecollaborators could go online and find their partners. Hopefully with Telecollaboration we're solving this problem. And if you want to read more about this study, you can find it online at this email, at this internet address. Simply go to the intentproject.eu homepage and you'll find it there. So, practitioners, we say, usually rely on personal networks. Now, let's look at some examples of this. In our study of European telecollaboration, we also had some case studies of different online exchanges. And here we also found some practical examples of practitioners who prefer to work with personal contacts. Well, in the VPAL exchange, which was between students of Italian at the Manchester University and students at different universities in Italy, Elena Polisca recounts that she initially found it difficult to find partner universities through official channels. This means by maybe sending out messages through the International Relations Office or things like that. And in the end, it was through a personal contact with a colleague from Cagliari, Sardinia, who was visiting Manchester, that she was able to set up her first online partnership. We have another example of this as well, in the exchange between Grenoble, France, and Riga in Latvia. There, the initial link between Dina Savlovska in Latvia and François Mangenot in Grenoble was established in 2008 when François carried out a course on teaching French with the internet in Riga. So you see, when teachers actually meet face to face, they very often find it easier to set up these online exchanges. Okay. Now the question is, why is this? Why is it easier to set up an online exchange when you know the people on a face-to-face level? Well, first of all, it can be difficult to establish what your partners want from an exchange when you only know them virtually. For example, Elena from Manchester explains the following. It can also be difficult to understand what your colleagues want out of the scheme, i.e. the exchange, if you are only communicating via email and sometimes on Skype. It's difficult to have transparency. And of course, another important thing is the aspect of trust. Mutual trust is very important in telecollaboration. So it's positive if you have already a good working relationship with your partner. Now, having said this, many of you out there are going to say, well, it's very easy to say this, but I don't know personally anybody working in another country that could do an exchange like this with me. In this case, you are going to have to look online for partners. And the best place to do that is by going to the Telecollaboration website and putting up a call for partners. Now, what is a call for partners? What should it contain? That's the next step we're looking at here. So, if you are going to write a call for partners to distribute in mailing lists and your online networks, such as Telecollaboration, what information would you include? Well, I suppose the first thing is to add some personal background about yourself and your academic position. Secondly, information about your academic institution, where you're working, where your students are studying. And then, this is very important, details about your class of learners, what they are studying, their range of ages, levels of language proficiency, and cultural profile. All of these things will help possible partner teachers in other countries to say, yes, this is a class that my students could work with. Of course, it's also very important to know why you want to do the exchange and what objectives you have. Do you want your students to focus only on linguistic, on developing their communicative skills in the foreign language? Or is there a content side to the exchange as well? A very practical issue, but an important one, is the dates. When would you like to start the exchange and when would you like to finish? Very often we find problems between universities in different countries that they start and end their terms at different times. And finally, another very important thing is the communication tools or the online platform you would like to use in the exchange. Okay, this is good to give the other partner teacher an idea of what you'd like to do and where you'd like your students to be working. Let's have a look at this example from the Telecollaboration website. On the Telecollaboration website, we have a special section for classes where teachers can leave messages or calls for partners, as we've been calling them until now, describing what they'd like to do. Here's just an example of one from the University of Padua. The teacher says, our students are somewhere between B1 and B2 level, and one of their main weak points is speaking, as Italians often focus on grammar and literature in secondary school rather than speaking and listening. Therefore, I am interested in an exchange that uses synchronous multimedia communications such as Skype for at least 4 weeks. We do not have webcams, so whatever software we use, the synchronous communication can only be audio and text-based. And then she goes on to talk about the number of students, the practicalities of when the classes begin and end, okay, and the type of class they're looking for. This is also important. We are primarily looking for other classes of English as a foreign or second language, located anywhere in the world. But we are also open to doing exchanges with classes in English-speaking countries where students are learning Italian. Okay, this is also important. What type of class would you like to work with? And in Telecollaboration, you'll be asked if you want to do oral exchanges using, for example, Skype, or written exchanges using, for example, email, the type of study program your students are doing, how many students are involved, what type of partner classes you'd like to have, the preferred start date and end date of the exchange, and if you're still looking for the partner. You can also then click on this tab here and give more details of the language levels of your students. So, this is the Unit Collaboration platform, and this is under the partner section you will find here the list of classes. This is where you should go to look for other classes that your students could work with, or simply click here, click to create a new class, and there you'll be able to go and start creating a class, creating information and a call for partners for a partner class for your group. So, good luck. If you want more information about the Intent project, this is where you'll find it. Here you'll also find more information about our study that I mentioned earlier. And finally, this is where everything is happening, the Unit Collaboration web platform. Thank you. Bye-bye.